Hello everyone, I am Ankur from team Odoo Webkul. Today we will hear a story about the journey of Spiral Direct, an established clothing and accessories brand that has been offering dark, cutting-edge designs into the alternative fashion market for over 3 decades. Today in this call, we have Mr. Shoaib, the co-founder of Spiral Direct. So let's hear this story from himself.
Hello Shoaib, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. So in this quick podcast, I'll be asking about Spiral's journey so far, right? Your experience with Odoo and Webkul, of course. So shall we start?
Yeah, sure. I'll just give you a little bit of background on how we started and when we started. We started Spiral in 1990, December 1990, which was over 30 years ago. And initially, when we set up, we started from an office which could only hold 2 desks.
Right, that's great.
Yeah. So and then we had a warehouse right underneath, which again only could have 12 tea chests. And we had the 12 tea chests with the 12 designs of t-shirts that we had chosen that we wanted to go with.
Right.
So that was our warehouse then. And today we have 25,000 square feet in London.
Wow.
And we have a similar size in the US, in Florida, in Orlando.
That's great.
And then when we started with just myself and my brother, and then about a year later, my brother-in-law joined us.
Right.
But today we have 54 staff. And then we have about 4 in the US, in Florida.
That's great. You and Sohail started, and then later on, your brother-in-law joined your company, right?
That's correct, yeah. And I think right in the beginning we were only using Excel, and I think another software that the normal sort of accounting software is what we were using. But we literally had a one sheet of paper with 12 designs on there. And we went to 2 customers that we had, one in Germany, one in France. And we'd go there and we'd just say to them, okay, this is the t-shirt that we're looking to do. What quantity they would like, and they'll say 50 of this, 100 of this, 50 of this. We'll come back to London, and we will then go to a printing company under the railway arches in Camberwell.
Right.
Like real next to Brixton, a sort of not a very affluent type place. And they had a manual machine, and they would then print those t-shirts that we requested. We pay for them, and then we bring them home. In actual fact, we didn't have enough space in the warehouse or in the office to pack, so we'd actually usually take them home, pack them, and get them ready for the freight for the next morning.
Right.
So that is how we started. But at that time, yes, we didn't need any software or. But my brother Sohail, who's actually done all his studies and degree in IT,
Right.
in computer science, he actually started a program in Access.
He's a bit of a developer himself, right? So
Yeah, that was something he did over a Christmas holiday type thing. He just locked himself in the bedroom, and for 2 weeks he just wrote this program in Access, which literally just took an order and processed it through the system, checked the stock, and a simple processing order, which actually worked for a few years. But then we realized that we couldn't use any APIs, we couldn't use any different carriers. We started to get bigger and bigger. And then we started to get some of the other companies in for back office type thing. But what we found was the majority of them were just learning from us, building their software, and then selling their software. And to the extent where some of the companies actually started off with us or were very young, very little, only had like two employees. And then as over like 3 or 4, 5 years later, they then had more staff than what we had,
right.
as well as then they didn't have time for us. So what we found, I think there came a stage where we would really needed an ERP system to be able to combat. One of the major issues that we had was we were starting to get some of the big customers, and we wanted to be able to do consolidated invoices. and whatever
Right.
software they were using couldn't do consolidated, and we found Odoo could.
Right.
So that was one of the advantages at that time where we wanted to move over to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did have we actually had some of the other developers that had come in the beginning, which didn't sort of work really well for us.
Right.
Although we taken them on board in our offices, thinking that having developers in the office will be brilliant because any problem they'll deal with it straight away. But I don't think we had about 320 odd modules installed in our system, which really slowed everything down. That's when we'd actually got asked. Webkul had actually done our website
Right.
time, and they were only doing the website. Is when we asked them to have a look at what our back office is like, and looking at it from there. Yes, in the beginning is not always the best.
Right.
It took some time to get things organized and set up, but then we got to a stage where we started with Odoo 10, moved on to Odoo. I think once we moved up to 10 was where it was difficult for us, but 12 onwards is I would really have to say that what the support and everything that the Webkul gave us really was incredible. From moving from 12, and then now we've moved from 12 to 14, and so much better. As far as I think with what we got in 12 compared to then, and of course over experience, and now Webkul also know the system that much better.
Right.
We really have this. We were actually a little bit worried that, are we going to be able to get the support as well as there was a company in the UK that were a gold partner, and we were looking to say, okay, well, maybe we should go with them because they're here, they're local.
Right.
We're not
Usually,
looking at the different times.
yeah. Usually, people find it convenient to opt for a partner in their own country due to the time zone difference.
But I think in actual fact, for us, it's actually worked out better
Right.
having Webkul, because now we also have some sort of IT knowledge, and we're not scared of computers. So if there's something goes wrong, we're able to do up to a certain extent. We are able to deal with things. But then the time difference is when Webkul wake up in the morning, it's the timing wise it's night here.
Right.
So if something is wrong, they would sort it out. And then same way the other way around. We're normally up till quite late, so it does work out quite well in that way. I think the other thing we found really good with the with Odoo part is that there are constantly different apps that you can get.
Right.
Different apps, and every October Odoo have their convention and they bring out new things. For example, in Odoo they brought out this Excel option, which is brilliant.
Integrated documentation.
So I think that it's actually worked out really well. We just need to be able to understand it better, to be able to use. We feel that we're probably using only 20% or 30% of what it can offer, because if we understood what Webkul understand on the back end side, then we could probably use it that much better.
Right. I think initially we started with the theme part, and then eventually we took over to other modules and backend areas as well. Right.
Yeah.
And approximately you are now using a good chunk of Odoo backend for your processes, specifically the manufacturing part, the batch processing, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think the manufacturing part we can actually do better. We can improve because we've already done all the work on it.
Right.
We've also got, we've set it up in such a way that all the things are there, all the bombs are there, and we can have different screens set up and different. We've already got the screens there that we can for each design. So it's a matter of working out the manufacturing order. It'll be probably something that we'll work on in the next project.
Right, definitely.
Even more.
So earlier, when I think Odoo took over your previous ERP, right? What I think apart from the modularity of Odoo, of course, Odoo has different modules for each of the features. Is there any other feature particularly you liked about Odoo, or you faced a particular advantage when you moved to Odoo?
Yes, the customers portal.
Right.
For customers to be able to log into their portal and have a look at what orders they've got, what history they've had, whether they want to for example, if they want to cancel an order, if they want to add to an order, if they any of those things, they can just log into their portal. And the other advantage was we weren't dealing with in Outlook. We weren't just sending emails back and forth. Odoo has its own chat box thing where your emails are going back and forth using SendGrid.
Right.
That was much better. That you're not having to switch from your back office to the email to see, oh, has someone sent you an email or not.
Right, and I think 4 years back, it's been over 4 years since you're connected to Webkul now as your Odoo partner, right? So how was your experience, particularly working with Odoo team of Webkul?
Excellent. I think in the beginning, yes, of course, with any project, the beginnings are not necessarily that easy. But once it all sort of fell into place, we then started having weekly meetings, especially when you took over. Especially when you took over as the project manager thing. I think in the beginning it was Mohit and yourself.
Right, Mohit and I were involved.
Yeah, and I think we were really impressed with yourselves, but also with Mohit.
Right.
Nothing was too difficult for him. Anything that we gave him, he would come out with a solution. And in actual fact, we actually always wanted to have a meeting where he was present so that we could talk about the actual programming side of things.
Right.
And then I think you guys introduced Sunny. Sunny was always there. Sunny was excellent with the website. He did really well on those. And now what we're finding is obviously you got Vihana that came in and to help you. And now it's really good that we have two contacts rather than just one. So if we're able to, if there's any issues, we're always able to go to her as well. And now what we're finding we're finding Ashok to be almost as good as Mohit.
You're right. Ashok is doing great.
Yeah, he understands what our business is. He understands what. So I mean, the same way as I offered Mohit a job many.
Right.
We've got the same offer.
We'll think about it, right? When we'll think about outsourcing our resources.
Sure. No, it's been excellent. I mean, I think the key thing for us is we are growing. We are now getting to a stage where we've got some of the really big customers on board.
Right. Yeah. I think you're collaborating with HMV and Assassin's Creed franchisee DC already, right?
Yeah, we've got the Warner license, so we've got all of Batman, Superman, Suicide Squad. We have Five Finger Death Punch, which is a really big band. We have Assassin's Creed. We have some of the big, and then apart from that, we have our own ranges. So we're now selling in every country. So we have, obviously we're doing really well in the US. We have some of the big customers in the US that are, you may have heard of Hot Topic. Hot Topic has over 600, well, they have 629 shops in the US, but each shop is massive. It's like IKEA size shops. So we're actually working with them. We're doing direct dispatch with them, which again all works through Odoo. So we have orders coming in 7 o'clock in the morning. They get processed, pulled by 1 o'clock. FedEx pick that up, take it on their own plane rather than chartered, and is guaranteed next day by 10:30 in Florida in our warehouse.
Right.
So that process works really well. We're also selling to Studio 24 in the UK, which is again a big company. We do direct dispatch for them as well as they hold for their catalog range as well.
Right. I think
I was just saying the important thing for us now is just as we're growing, we need Webkul to work with us on, for example, we have an app already,
right,
mobile app, but we want to better that app. So we want Webkul to design something and work something on the app side, as well as we want to try and improve each of the processes that we've got with. We have a big company in Germany. They're actually the biggest distributor or mail order distributor or mail order company in Europe, and over 355 million turnover.
Right,
so
that's great.
supplying them every week. We send goods out to them. So we want to try and do things where go through each process with, for example, with HMV, with them, with they call EMP. So some of the big customers, we want to go through a process so that we can make it more efficient.
Right. I mean, 3 decades in this industry, in this business, right? I mean, you must have faced a lot of challenges. So is there any advice which you'd like to give to the people who are just starting their businesses in apparels and accessories business, industry?
I think the important thing, what I would say, is hard work. Just need to stick to what you're doing. Don't keep changing things and say, try this, try that, try this. Just if you decide, especially if you're looking software, give it a chance. In the beginning, it really wasn't. At one stage, we weren't sure whether this was going to be the right thing for us.
Right.
But it proved to be that way just because we stuck to it. Same thing with it doesn't normally. People aren't able to say that they've been running the same business for 30 years. We have.
Right.
And the reason is we've stuck to it. It is a lot of hard work. It's day and night. We still feel as if we're having to do long hours, but it's worth it.
Right. I think your theme, the business theme, is gothic, or we can say dark, right? And usually in especially in West, the product sales you get a huge load of product sales in Halloween season, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So do you think that the demand of gothic products has now increased apart from the Halloween season, or in overall fashion?
Yeah, definitely, because I think what's actually happened, it has become more generic.
Right.
In the olden days, if you remember, if anyone had tattoos, people used to think, oh, hold on,
right.
It wasn't expected.
Mm-hmm.
Today, a lot of the people have tattoos, and no one thinks twice about it. As far as gothic and tribal, and we are actually trying to do what we're trying to do is to make, even if you think about it, we've made Batman.
Mm-hmm.
In actual fact, we've made Batman into and put it more towards the spiral side. So we've taken the dark. Even the new film that is coming out next year that we have the license for is actually very dark.
Right.
It is sort of a dark side of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's working quite well for us.
Right. So I think this was all about your journey, and you really made it big from a very humble start, right, to having collaboration with big brands and having customers worldwide. All right, and Spiral has really good catalog to look for. I mean, I think you do deliver in India as well.
No, at the moment we're not delivering any. I mean, if we do have some orders from mail order customers from India. We do supply, but we don't have any distribution in India. What we have done in actual fact is we've assigned a company now that takes our license worldwide, and basically if there's a company in the Far East or in India or places like that where they want to take a license on our product, we have like 400 odd designs. They can choose out of those designs and say, okay, and we will give them a license. They can print those T-shirts, pay us royalty, and serve the market that we're not serving.
Right.
So, for example, Singapore, India, and those type of countries that we're not really selling at the moment, they can set up something using our designs, print. But yes, everything has to be approved by us, and yes, they have to pay royalties on that.
Right. So you're open for the collaboration part, right? If any business want to get in contact with you.
Sure.
Right. So that's great. I mean, you really had a good journey. I mean, it's quite inspiring, to be honest, right? And I hope you keep reaching those heights of successes which you always want to be, and you keep growing. Thank you, Shoaib, for your time.
No problem.
And we'll catch up later. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So this was all about the journey of Spiral with Odoo and Webkul. Stay tuned with us for more such stories.